What's up, guys? My name is Gus, KW Commercial Director here in Central Florida. So if you are a landlord or if you own some property or planning on owning any kind of property, whether that's industrial or office or retail or some kind of flex or special space, and you're looking to bring in tenants, now is the time to really lock in long-term tenants. Obviously, we're seeing shifts that are happening. I can't predict the future, but there are a lot of flags out there that are suggesting that a shift is happening. While things are looking good along some sectors, there is definitely a lot of elements that are out in the ether that are suggesting that there is going to definitely be I won't say definitely. I'm going to say that there is likely to be a shift in the way commercial activity is going to happen. So, between inflation, interest rates, just demand in general, if any of that fluctuates the way that it's being predicted, then there is a good chance that your ability to generate the same kind of income over time could be diminished. The way to the way to hedge against something like that is to work on getting longer term leases, and that may mean that you might be wanting to consider giving maybe a better deal on the monthly rate just so you can get longer terms. Now's not really the time to play hardball, right? You really want to think about longevity, because assuming a shift happens, right? Let's say the shift does happen, because there are plenty of signals that are suggesting that it's going to be happening. It may not necessarily be super severe. It may not necessarily be as heavy as some people are predicting. But the truth of the matter is, consistent money is going to be way better than inconsistent money, even if the inconsistent money is slightly higher. Because the slightly higher part is slight, right? When we're talking about a difference of $2 a square over the lifetime of the lease, if the lease is 3 years versus 5 years, or 5 years versus 7 years, then obviously you're going to be getting net more money over the long term. Because let's say you do a 3-year deal, and then 3 years out, the tenant decides that they want to upgrade, downsize, or just get out of business because maybe the market is not favorable for them. You now have to go through the process of finding another tenant, and that could take months. And if the market is not very hot at that time, that can take a long time. That can take many months. In addition to any kind of TI, abatement that may be necessary depending on where the market is, all that good stuff. However, if you go ahead and negotiate a longer term deal, then you're basically looking at some consistency over time. And you don't have to worry about 3 years down the line having to find another tenant and the cost of having to put in a new tenant into the space. If you did, instead of a 3-year deal, you did a 7-year deal, then you basically have consistent money with predictable escalations between now and that time. So, I do think that for the sake of, caution, right? For the sake of caution, I'm sure you didn't get into real estate to be a high risk investor, right? Real estate's not typically considered terribly high risk. There are certain segments of it that you can be super risky with it, but typically when you're buying a cash flowing asset, the idea is that you have consistent cash flow over time. So if that is your plan, if that's the idea, then right now, because of the way the market is kind of just jostling all over the place, I would definitely suggest it be a good strategy to hedge your future income by negotiating longer term leases. So, I'm talking to some of these folks, some of these landlords, and some are wanting to do 3 and 5 year leases, and these are with big spaces. These are big industrial, deals where you might have a tenant who's taking up 22,000, 25,000 square feet, and they're wanting to do a 5-year deal on that. And to me, that doesn't make any sense. You have a tenant that's that size. They obviously have a reasonable amount of revenue to be able to get to that size, and you only want to do a 5-year deal. I don't know that now is the time to be negotiating shorter term deals. That would probably have been the case, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. You could have seriously considered something like that when the market was like on fire, but the market is not there. And it's not to say that it's going to be bad, or I'm not trying to, poo-poo what's going on. I mean, again, I can't predict the future, but there are definitely flags out there that are suggesting that the market is going to be shifting. It's not going to be shifting in favor of the commercial market. So we want to make sure that we're hedging against any kind of shortcomings that may come with the market. So if you are an owner of a building, or you are looking to purchase a cash flowing asset, then what I would recommend to you is, whenever you're negotiating your leases, talk to whoever is representing your property, or if you need someone, obviously I can help. Talk to them about negotiating long-term leases. You really want to do 7-year deals whenever possible, 10-year deals whenever possible. Now, obviously, certain business models won't allow for that. There are certain franchises that don't want to do those kinds of longer term deals, and obviously you can't control that. But whenever possible, I would definitely say you're going to be in a better position if you can do longer term deals versus shorter term deals, considering considering where the market volatility is right now. So those are just my 2 cents. I just wanted to share that with you because I know that there's a lot happening in the commercial realm right now, and it's up here and down there, and things are kind of shifting all over the place. There's a lot of leverage that's out there. There's a lot of cash that's out there. So I just want to make sure that I'm trying to provide my clients with as much value as possible. And if I were you, what I would seriously consider at this time, right? We're in the second quarter of 2023. Seriously consider looking at negotiating longer term leases versus trying to just get any short term lease in here with the hopes of being able to renegotiate at a higher market value 3 years down the line, because right now that volatility may not favor you. Right, and I would hate for you to be in a position in 3 years where you're having a hard time, finding another tenant, or trying to negotiate another deal and potentially losing money because market rents have diminished significantly. If you already have someone in place, it's a lot easier for you to hold your position with the rents that have already been pre-negotiated versus trying to get into a decent rent category, price range, when rents maybe have shifted downward because the market has shifted. So just wanted to kind of give you a heads up and let you know what's happening. We're definitely seeing some market volatility out in the space, and we don't know where it's going to go. Obviously, we don't have a magic ball to identify where it's going to go, but I did want to share with you what I'm telling my clients to be just wary of. Obviously, ultimately it's your asset. You do with it what you like. I just want to make sure that I'm providing, what my view is based on what I'm seeing in the market, what I'm, the analytics that we're seeing in the market, just making sure that you have that knowledge, and then you can make a decision for yourself. So let me know if you have any questions. Please leave a comment. Please share if you like what you're hearing. I'd love to just kind of hear what you have to say. I'd love for you to share it with any friends. If you can hit a like, that'd be awesome. That helps with the algorithm, and we can kind of go from there. All right. Talk to you guys later. Peace.